Bonjour tout le monde. Today we're going to be looking at two very important verbs in French, the verbs avoir and être. And we're going to be looking at how we can use these verbs to give physical descriptions, to talk about how somebody might look. The verb avoir means to have, and we would use this to describe hair or eyes. I have brown hair, you have green eyes. The verb être means to be, and we would use the verb to talk about size. I am tall, she is short, etc. Avoir and être are irregular verbs. This means that they don't follow a pattern. They're verbs that we just have to learn off by heart if we want to use them correctly and confidently. Here in the red box, I have included forms of the verb avoir and être that we will need to use today in this video. These are the singular forms, I, you, he and she. We've got them for avoir here and être over here. I've also included for you a reminder of the language that you would have seen in your booklet. Les cheveux, meaning hair, les yeux, being eyes, grand or grande, being tall, and petit or petite, being small. We're going to look at some examples of how to use the verbs avoir and être alongside these nouns to describe different people. Let's have a look at number one to begin with. I have blue eyes. Here we're going to need to use the verb avoir, to have, in order to translate this sentence. I have, we can check in our box here, I have means j'ai. J'ai. Then we need to remember some of the lessons we've seen in our previous videos. We need to remember that nouns come before adjectives in French. So we're not going to say I have blue eyes. We're going to say I have eyes that are blue. So j'ai les yeux bleus. Finally, remembering that because I have two eyes, my adjective blue has to agree with my noun and has to be with an S on the end. Let's have a look at exercise 2. I have blonde hair. Once again, we're going to use I have from our verb avoir, j'ai. This time we're using hair, les cheveux. Blonde. Because our hair is plural, we're going to put an S on the end. You should be getting the swing of this by now, but let's have a look at number 3. You have green eyes. So we're going to check the verb avoir, and we're going to have a little look. You have is tu as. Again, our noun comes first, eyes, then our adjective green, and our adjective agrees with our plural noun because we've got two eyes, so it has an S on the end. And number 4, she has brown hair. She has, checking our grid, she has, elle a. We're using hair here in this description, les cheveux, brun, with an S on the end because our hair is plural. At this point, if you feel ready, you can pause the video and have a go at exercises 5 to 8 yourself. Your verb avoir is up here to help you. If you would like, you can carry on with me and check your work as we go. Yourself, pause the video and then come back to check your answers. He has blue eyes. Il a les yeux bleus. You have blonde hair. Tu as les cheveux blondes. She has green eyes. Elle a les yeux verts. And finally, he has brown hair. Il a les cheveux bruns. Well done. So that is our verb avoir. Well, we've used it to describe hair and eyes. We're now going to look at the verb être, to be, in a little bit more detail, remembering that we use être, to be, to describe our height or our size. And in this case, we're going to use tall and small. There's an extra thing to remember here. We must remember that adjectives agree with our noun. If we're describing a girl, our adjective is going to need to end with an E. So we must remember to add that. Let's have a look then. You are small. Using our verb to be. To A is you are. A. We've told you that the person you're describing is small, so we don't need the E on the end if our person is. You are tall. So we now know that you are to A. Tall, this time we're going to check, and is grand. Do we need the E on the end? No, we don't, because we've been told that our person is masculine. I am tall. Checking our verb for être, our verb to be. I am, je suis. Tall being grand. If you are a boy, you're going to leave it. If you're a girl like me, we're going to agree it with an E on the end. He is small. He is, we're going to check against our verb, il est, is petit. I'm sure you've worked this out now, but you do not need the E on the end because we're talking about he, and he is masculine. Again, if you're feeling confident now, you can pause the video, come back and check your answers at the end. The rest of you, we're going to work through these together. So here we go. Number 5, he is tall. Il est grand. He is masculine, so we don't need an E. She is tall. Elle est grande. We're going to put our E on the end because we're talking about she. She. If you're a boy, you can leave it without petite. And finally, we've been told here that this person is feminine. You are tu es petit. Petite with an E on the end. And there we have it, using avoir and être for physical descriptions. Try having a go yourself.